With the uncertainty ahead of us all, and that's the whole country, that is also impacting on farmers. What are the most important things that you would be saying need to be top of mind?
One of the key things kind of on an individual level is just maintaining your routine and your normal kind of rituals that sustain you. They might need to look a little bit different at the moment, but just, being creative about how you can still do those things gives us a sense of calm and control. The two biggest things that help people get through and de-stress, having access to be able to solve their everyday problems, and then connecting to their normal social network, their normal support channels. So if we can be focusing on those two kind of things, then that helps mitigate a lot of the kind of that external stress that's going on, and is going to keep going on for a while.
And as you say, finding creative ways to do that. We talked to an awesome farmer in the Wairarapa that, he's been doing his coaching his rugby team online on Facebook.
Yep.
And he didn't know how to use Facebook before. But that, that routine, he's kept that going, but in a very different way that he can still do his training. So it is great about looking at creative ways.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I mean, one opportunity that's come for this is this has brought a lot of people into the kind of the tech, the social media side of things who might not otherwise have done that. So, like I've heard of a group of older dairy farmers, and their partners have helped set them up again on Zoom, and they've had a catch up whenever each of them have felt like it when they finish milking or come in off the farm. And a lot of that's that banter, and I've heard discussion groups doing the same. They're doing them online, and they've just let the kind of agenda be quite loose, and really they've recognised those facilitators that actually the main reason of this is just the ability to connect and the banter that's going on.
So in terms of the benefit of focusing on your everyday problems and keeping yourself in a good space where you've got a clear head to do that, because we do spend quite a lot of our mental energy sometimes worrying about things we can't control or about the future, around what might happen. And then sometimes we spend quite a lot of energy looking at what did happen and ruminating sort of over, and thinking, oh, I've only done that, or why did they do that? And so just some of that ability, some of those skills to stay in the present, because I think that's what you're talking about.
And I don't think people realise how much fatigue, fatigue can happen from being physically busy, but also if we're mentally busy and our head is full of kind of those worries or what ifs, then actually that's quite fatiguing. So kind of recognising and realising that you need some respite from that. And so sometimes that's literally putting some of that thinking on hold for a little bit to recognise and say, actually, this stuff's going round and round in my head. Actually, I haven't got a solution for it right now. So I need a break from it. And so to actually be physically or mentally distracted from that for a little while gives us some respite. So we can get out and we can do something physical, whether that's get out and garden, whether that's cooking, whether that's going and talking to someone else. Because actually, as soon as we're busy doing something, there's less time, ability for that little voice in our head to be kind of chipping away. So that's kind of one technique. Another one is just kind of focusing and recognizing if that's really just unhelpful, rather than positive or negative, is the way I'm thinking at the moment. Is it unhelpful? And if you're not going to achieve something by it, then often it is unhelpful. And so we want to stop the what ifs in their tracks a little bit and focus on, okay, well, if I can't kind of get the answer to that right now, what is it that I can focus on? What is it that I can solve right now and put my energy into? Or is there a different way? Is there a different way to think about that thought right now? So could be thinking, gosh, next year's looking pretty bleak in terms of the forecast right now. So it might be just thinking about a different way to say, well, I guess that's the ups and downs of farming. But, if we plan ahead early, we might be able to mitigate some of those losses, and we might be able to retrack things. So like had a farmer recently with the drought, and they've decided to put in four times the amount of winter crop to try that out, to try and mitigate some of the effects of drought. And so it's a bit of a test, but it's something that they could proactively do.
Hey Sarah, look, it's been awesome catching up. Just as a final, what's sort of your main message to the farmers and the rural sector at the moment, just around looking after yourself and looking after your well-being?
You're doing great. Keep doing it. But just make sure that you take time to look after yourself and your family so that you can keep doing it.